A random man at the gas station demanded I let him fill his car first because I'm in a hurry, and you look like you have time. When I refused, he grabbed the pump out of my hands and sneered. This is how the real world works. Other drivers watched in shock as I pulled out my phone and said, Then let's see how fast the police work. I'm a 42-year-old guy living in a small town just outside of Tulsa, Oklahoma. I don't mess with people. I mind my business. I work a blue-collar job, I take care of my old truck, and I tried to keep things simple. I'm not the kind of person who looks for trouble, but I also don't back down when someone disrespects me in broad daylight, especially not over something as stupid as a gas pump. This happened last month, on a Monday morning. It was hot already, even though it was only 9 a.m. I had just finished a night shift at the factory. I was running on maybe 2 hours of sleep and just wanted to grab some gas, a coffee, and head home to crash. Nothing fancy. I pulled into the Quick Trip on 71st Street. It was busy but not crazy. A couple pumps were open, so I lined up behind a white Dodge Charger that looked like it had seen better days. The driver finished up pretty quick, pulled out, and I rolled in. As I stepped out of my truck, this other guy in a black Escalade comes flying around the corner of the lot, damn near clipping a minivan. He slams on the brakes behind me, gets out, and storms over like I just cut him off or something. You need to move, he said loud and sharp. I'm in a hurry. I looked at him. Tall guy, maybe 6 feet 2 inches, dressed like he was trying too hard. Tight black shirt, gold chain, sunglasses that looked expensive but weren't. I figured he was about my age, maybe a few years younger. His face was tight with anger like someone told him no too many times in his life and he still didn't know how to handle it. Yeah, well, so am I said and turned back to grab the pump. That was enough to light his fuse. You look like you've got time, he snapped. Let me go first. I've got somewhere to be. I laughed once, without smiling. We all do. Then, without warning, he yanked the pump out of my hand. Didn't just grab it, he snatched it. Some of the leftover gas spilled, hit the pavement between us. I stepped back, more stunned than anything. He sneered, his mouth twisted up like a bully in a movie. This is how the real world works, he said, like he was teaching me something. People saw it. The couple at the next pump had stopped mid-fill. A woman near the store entrance stared with her keys in her hand, frozen. I heard a guy in a pickup mutter something like, "What the hell?" I didn't raise my voice. I didn't touch him. I just pulled out my phone and said, "Then let's see how fast the police work." He scoffed. You serious? Dead serious. I held my phone up and started recording. I don't like being that guy, but I had a bad feeling. I read enough headlines. I wasn't taking chances. My hand was steady, and I made sure to get a clear shot of his face, his plates, and the pump still in his hand. He looked around then, saw the people watching. His smirk wavered, just a little. You're gonna regret this, he muttered. I didn't respond. I dialed. While I was on the line with dispatch, he dropped the pump, got back in his Escalade, and peeled off without getting gas. Left a skid mark behind him like some teenager trying to prove a point. Police arrived in under 10 minutes. I showed them the footage. They were professional, calm. They recognized the vehicle from previous complaints. Apparently, this wasn't his first rodeo. I filed the report. Nothing dramatic happened right away, but it didn't end there. Turns out he messed with the wrong tired factory worker that day. 2 days passed. I didn't think about it much. Figured it was over. Then I got a call from work. You all right? My supervisor asked. Yeah, why? There's a guy out in the lot asking for you. Says your old friends. Real pushy. Security told him to leave, but he just circled back and parked across the street. That punched me in the gut. I looked out from the break room window and there he was, same black Escalade, parked by the gas station across from the plant. He wasn't doing anything, just sitting there, watching. Like he wanted me to know he could show up anywhere. I didn't go out. I called the cops again. Filed a follow-up. They said unless he stepped onto company property again, there wasn't much they could do. So now I'm supposed to just wait for him to cross some line? I went home that night, didn't sleep. Parked my truck around the corner and sat by the window with the lights off. Nothing happened. But the feeling in my gut stayed. The next morning, my neighbor flagged me down as I was leaving for work. "Hey man, your back tires look low," he said. "Might want to check them. Both rear tires. Slashed. Clean cuts. Nothing random about it." I took a deep breath. Drove my backup car to work. Didn't call the cops. Not yet. This guy wanted a game? Fine. I'd give him one. I got some advice from a friend who used to be a private investigator. He helped me pull the registration off the plate from my video. Gave me a name. Darren Monroe. I looked him up. Ran into some interesting things. Darren used to run a used car lot in Tulsa. Shut down after lawsuits. Multiple customer complaints. Threats. One guy claimed Darren followed him home after leaving a bad Yelp review. Another said he keyed her car after she asked for a refund. Patterns. Anger issues. It all tracked. Here's the twist, though, he wasn't supposed to be driving. DUI conviction from 3 months ago. Lost his license. That changed things. I compiled everything. Videos. Screenshots. Tire damage. His history. I walked it all down to the station and dropped it on a detective's desk. He wasn't thrilled about the homework, but once he saw Darren's name, his eyes changed. "I've dealt with this guy before," he said. So now they were watching him. The heat got to Darren fast. He wasn't subtle. Next day, I got a video from a neighbor, Darren creeping past my house at night, his headlights off. Didn't stop. Just slow-rolled by. That was mistake number 1. Mistake number 2 came the following week. I walked out to find red spray paint on the side of my truck. Just one word: rat. That's when I snapped. I didn't yell. I didn't swing. I got smart. I tracked down one of the guys who used to work at Darren's car lot. Took me 2 calls and a 6-pack. "Yeah," the guy said. "He owes people. Lot of people. Guys in OKC." He ran his mouth, then ran up debt. That was gold. I didn't even need to say anything to Darren. Just started dropping hints. Little ones. Enough to let him know I knew. Made a burner email. Sent him copies of his own court records. Photos of his DUI mugshot. A screenshot of his plate with the time and date stamped from when he was driving. A line that said, "Still think this is how the real world works?" He cracked. You could see it. He stopped showing up. No more Escalade. No more drive-bys. He just vanished for a while. I thought that might be the end. It wasn't. One night, I came home and found a dead raccoon nailed to my front porch. It was fresh. This was more than some gas station beef now. This was personal. This was about power. I stood on that porch with the stink of that animal hitting me in the face, and I made a promise, to myself, to whoever was watching. I wasn't backing down. Not now. I didn't touch the raccoon. Just took pictures. Called animal control. Cops came out too, this time with a bit more urgency. One officer looked like he was going to throw up. The other asked, "Do you have enemies?" "Only one," I said. They filed another report, but I knew how this worked. Unless he got caught in the act, nothing would stick. It would just keep going. And worse. So I made a decision. I wasn't going to wait for Darren to burn my house down. I was going to burn his world down first. Remember that old coworker of his I mentioned? The guy who gave me the tip? I paid him a visit again. Brought coffee this time. He opened up more. "Darren's still got stuff stashed," he said. "Off the books. Cash deals. Some of those cars never hit the title system. That's what I needed. We put together everything. Fraud. Hidden vehicles, unpaid taxes, multiple violations from when he was still running the lot. He thought because he shut it down, it all went away. I sent the whole packet to the IRS, state tax office, local news tips line. Even made an anonymous call to a woman I knew who ran a car blog and loved exposing shady dealers. Then I sat back and waited. 3 weeks later, it blew up. The IRS raided a storage unit and broke an arrow link to Darren. Inside? Cars. Paperwork. Fake invoices. Enough to bury him. The story hit the local news. His face was all over it. A few days after that, he got picked up again. This time for violating probation, driving on a suspended license, and harassment charges related to the gas station video. It should have felt like a win. And in a way, it was. He was out of my life. Facing real consequences. His empire, if you could call it that, crumbled. But there's a part one didn't tell you yet. In the middle of all this, I made a mistake too. Remember when I emailed him from that burner account? One of the messages I sent had a link, something petty, just a joke article about how to be a decent human. But it tracked the IP. He figured out where it came from. That's how he found my address. That's how the raccoon happened. That part? That was on me. And even though he's behind bars now, I don't sleep well. I check my locks twice. I look over my shoulder in parking lots. Because guys like Darren? They have friends. They have people who owe them. And I've seen what he's willing to do over a gas pump. So yeah, I won. But I carry it. And if I'm being honest, I don't know if it was worth it. But I'll tell you this, if someone grabs a pump out of my hand again, they'd better be ready. Because I sure as hell am.